on our list of fantasy manhwa with OPMC. Starting with number 10, Trinity Wonder. What happens when the greatest martial artist of the murim world meets a genius magician from a fantasy world? Well, you got Trinity Wonder, an absolute delight in a world of online publishing where so much trash comes through. Besides, its writer is the same as the Breakup. That is alone enough to get your attention. The story is an excellent blend of action, a few touches of intrigue, drama and romance, and just enough comedy to grant a chuckle but not great immersion. It's about an overpowered martial artist and a magician ending up in the regular world because of portals. The only time I stopped reading this was because of my eyelids were falling off. In the 9th spot, Black Haze. The story centers on a young man named Wood Grishi, known widely as the Black Magician. He is sent to a famous school of sorcery to protect Deus Varus, the son of Duke Diner Ashen, as well as to figure out why everyone calls his son a monster. While undercover, Wood also discovers this more occurring at the school than it appears. Why are we recommending Black Haze as a fantasy manhwa? Well, after a few pages, it really catches your attention. Just look at this magical world. If you are into classic epic fantasies but wouldn't mind a twist, Black Haze has what you're looking for. Plus, it is long. Next at number 8, I'm the Sorcerer King. As the story goes, for the past 10 years, Earth has been under attack from a monster horde that appeared out of a rift formed through time and space. Ever since the event, people have started to awaken supernatural RPG-like powers and began to hunt the monsters for money. Lee Sang-hoo, in need of money, he so takes on dangerous job as a beta who lures monsters for his hunting party to kill. One day, Sang-hoon is suddenly attacked by a monster that results in his death, but during that moment, he remembers his past life as the Sorcerer King. Sang-hoo's dying moment causes him to an activation of an incarnation, resulting in his injuries healing and him gaining all of Kuratara's memories. This includes awakening his powers as a great sorcerer. From here on, Sang-hoon begins his overpowered magic show. First of all, I understand why people are saying that it is similar to Solo Leveling, and in many ways, it is. However, as a little fact here, this manhwa was released before Solo Leveling, and overall, it's incredibly entertaining. The characters are much more likable, the OPMC is incredibly smart and experienced, and the corporations are incredibly smart as well. Be with its art and story just for the couple first chapters, and you'll find it definitely worth reading. On the 7th spot, The Descent of the Demonic Master. After the protagonist, Gan Jin-ho, loses his family and lags in an accident, he takes his own life and is reincarnated. Then, after he is betrayed by the person he trusts the most, he dies and is reincarnated again. After finally being reincarnated for the 3rd time, his only wish is to live a normal life. But when he realizes that he's only familiar with a non-normal life, he needs to figure out what he can do to live normally as a person in the modern world. So let me say it in other way. This guy literally got isekai twice. First life, he was weak and died pretty shitty. In the second life, he was an overpowered demonic master in the world, but still died pretty shitty. Now in the 3rd life that he experienced both lives, hopefully he doesn't die shitty. That is to say, this isn't your typical manhwa where the OPMC battles new enemies and venture off to save the world. He's just trying to live a normal life with superpowers. So, it's incredibly entertaining. The art is pleasant and it's easy to read. And overall, a funny manhwa. Fun fights, quite likable MC, so it has a lot of potential. Definitely, you should try it. At number 6, Yoon Lok-hyun. Due to circumstances, Yoon has always dressed as a boy learning martial and spiritual arts. Also, due to some circumstances, she ends up meeting with the Emperor and he promises to save her father's life in exchange for her lifelong services. So the elephant in this room is, how long can she continue this life without the others finding out that she's actually a woman? Well, first, don't worry, because our girl is literally in a male body, and in order to hide her identity, she learned how to shapeshift her face and body to be be a male's body. So it's not surprising no one thinks of her as a girl, cause while she still has some delicate features in a male body, she is legit just a pretty boy. Think about it, if she transformed to be bulky, we'd probably be turned off anyways. Just joking, or maybe not. But overall, this manhwa has a good character development, romance, and an interesting and captivating storyline. Also, you must love the historical martial arts vibe and awesome art, you should really read it. On the 5th spot, Volcanic Age. Zhu Xiuqian, a man who survived the age of war through sheer luck, becomes Huasan faction's elder only to live a life full of regrets and doubts. He then lies on his deathbed waiting for the inevitable when he is returned to the past. This is a story of a man who died as a normal soldier in his past life without doing anything remarkable, but now sent back to the past. He'll do whatever he can to get stronger and protect those around him. Regardless of how strong he becomes, I love that he's still humble and stays true to his beliefs. The protagonist is very low-key character and plots and plans executed very properly. The art of this manhwa is also very nice. It's a reasonable story with a lot of action, adventure, fantasy, very mature main character as well as good female characters. It's definitely a must-read manhwa. At number 4, Unholy Blood. When vampires destroy her chance to have the normal life she's always wanted, Haiyan is forced to draw on her darkest secret to rid the world of the merciless hunters that took it over 10 years ago. With the support of a rising star in the local police force, Haiyan steps up to protect her loved ones, face her past, and get her revenge. So, this is a story for main character who is a pure-blood vampire and they're all rare. She plans on taking out all the vampires due to revenge and anger. The art is amazing, the characters are fine. If you're here for an overpowered main character, then you must read this one. At number 3, Legend of the Northern Blade. After the sun disappeared from the world, martial artists from around the world formed the Northern Heavenly Sect. However, after a rebellion against the group occurs after the death of the sect leader Jin Quan-Hu, his son is the only one who knows of the sacred techniques his father taught him. It's now up to Jin Mo-woon to restore the Northern Heavenly Sect and spread the word about martial arts. This is definitely a manhwa to read. The story is realistic, conserving the magical part linked with the cultivation world. The revenge story is the leading theme without crashing the subplot. The art is original and almost perfectly mastered. Moreover, it perfectly fits with the story. Finally, the characters are human-like thanks to the way the author creates relationships and make them evolve. On the 2nd spot, Second Life Ranker. The manhwa chronicles the story of Yeon-woo, a man who is searching for his twin brother, Jeon-woo-cha, who disappeared 5 years ago and the only hint being a pocket watch. When he stumbles upon his brother's diary and discovers he was betrayed in an alternate universe, he decides to take Jeon-woo-cha's place, uncover the mystery behind his betrayal, and take his revenge on whoever killed his twin brother. This manhwa is incomparable to anything else. The story is unique and you won't get bored at any point. The art is pretty good and the characters are amazing. If you're here for the OPMC manhwa, there is no way you miss this one. Now with the first spot on the list, and what story can fit here better than Solo Leveling? This manhwa became known to the much that any similar story is basically a rip-off, even if it was published before it. How crazy! This manhwa takes place in a land where magic has become the norm. Regular people are now superhumans who combat monsters and earn money for their victories. Sang Jin-woo is one such hunter, but is extremely weak as a fighter. One day, Sang Jin-woo is asked to complete an impossible training program or face dire consequences. Initially hesitant, the young boy now chooses to look at this as an opportunity that can help him become the strongest hunter in the world. If you're not reading this one yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go read it now, but before you do, click that subscription button and hit the notification bell to get the latest videos. Give this